Okay, let me set the scene for you. Picture the ideal language plan for your child. You want your child to speak more than one language, maybe yours, maybe your partner's, and probably the one spoken where you're living right now. Sounds like the dream, right? But what if you're doing it wrong? What if it doesn't work? Or worse, what if your child grows up hating that second or third language? I had the same questions from my multilingual family. So I went out there and asked real parents what were their biggest multilingual parenting regrets. 14 parents got back to me, and their answers might surprise you. So in this video, I'm sharing their reflections and what research says about what really helps, so you can learn from their lessons and also get the most actionable takeaways. If you're curious about what parents are doing to raise awesome babies who can speak multiple languages, subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss out on future episodes in this I Ask Real Parents Answer series, where I gather stories from parents from all around the world raising children in multiple languages. Without further ado, here are the 7 big lessons from multilingual parents. Lesson 1. Start sooner. Some parents spoke about how early you can start, even before birth. Start speaking your respective languages to the baby as early as possible. This means now. Talk to the bump, start getting used to it. It started off shaky because I needed time to adjust to the constant Vietnamese, but it started feeling natural by 6 months. Science shows that children's brains are primed to soak up languages from day one. This is due to what is called the critical period hypothesis, when the brain is most flexible in learning sounds and pronunciation. Babies as young as 6 months old are already tuning in to patterns. By their first birthday, they are putting words together, and before age 3, forming full sentences. That early start really gives them an advantage, especially in accent and intonation. But here's the good part. It's never too late. Older kids and adults bring in cognitive maturity when learning new languages. According to the Bilingual Edge, they often pick up grammar faster and reach strong fluency, even if their accent isn't 100% native. So whether you're beginning while you're pregnant or while your child is at age 6, 10, or even later, it's always worth it. If you're still pregnant and preparing for your baby's arrival, I made another video on the 6 things that we've been doing to set up a trilingual home. So check out that one too. Lesson 2, don't do it alone. Many parents said they really underestimated how helpful it is to have support through teachers, peers, or community. I wish we signed her up for online classes sooner. Having a designated teacher and schedule really brought her the structure she needed. The only thing I'd change is finding Viet-speaking friends for both kids. Expose your child to as many languages as you can. The key is to stay consistent. Home really is the heart of language learning, but you don't have to do it all by yourself. In fact, many families build in exposure through extended family, babysitters, playgroups, local libraries, schoolmates, and so on. The key is quantity and quality of interaction, and any trusted speaker can help provide it. Lesson 3. Use screens strategically. Despite all the shame and guilt around using screens for young children, screens are just part of modern homes. And some parents actually wish they made more active use of screens and take advantage of the wealth of high-quality content out there. I wish I had started my kid on Netflix because it has a decent number of dubbed kids shows. Learn to operate parental control and compile a list of quality shows well ahead of time. And also using screens to cope with the constant changing interests of their child. I had many nights wishing for Vietnamese books on dinosaurs. When I finally got a bunch, my kids stopped caring about them. Now, there is an overwhelming amount of advice and guidelines out there around screen time for children, and it can also be a very polarizing subject for many parents. I actually made a whole video on this topic, on how multilingual parents use screen time, when they introduce it, how they made it work, and compared that to the global guidelines. You can watch it next if you're navigating that in your home. But ultimately, the consensus is screens alone are not going to work on babies and toddlers. They do need human interactions. For older kids, screens can support language learning if they're used intentionally, engagingly, and followed up with real content conversations. Watching together, discussing, and using content as a springboard can really help. Lesson 4. Staying consistent in public. Some parents felt really self-conscious when using heritage languages outside of their home, but in hindsight, they wish they had stuck to it. Something I wish we could do more is being consistent with speaking to her in Vietnamese and Cantonese when we're in public, but we just default back to English. In public or with friends, I'll still speak my native language to my kids, but also translate to English for inclusion. Staying consistent is definitely a common challenge for multilingual parents, as there is often this magnetic pull towards using the community language in public or peer settings. This is because children's competencies and preferences has little to do with what's happening inside the home, but everything to do with what's happening outside it. Children can very quickly pick up which language is dominant before they can even speak it themselves. So as parents, what do we do about this? And the simple answer is keep staying consistent and keep nurturing your minority language both at home and outside, even if it feels awkward. This signals to your child that your language has value and belonging. The Bilingual Edge authors suggest a 80% minority language, 20% majority language at home to help give your child the best balance at developing both languages. To help you stay consistent with making your minority language a part of life, I created a 30-day multilingual play calendar that will give you and your child simple daily prompts to speak your language, whether you're getting dressed at home or out on a walk. Grab your free copy in the description. Lesson 5. Keeping up with vocabulary. As it turns out, it wasn't always the kids that struggled to keep up. Several parents wish they had refreshed their vocabularies earlier. I just wish I could make more of an effort in brushing up my native vocabulary in the same speed my son learns English. Speaking about emotions wasn't a thing when I grew up. She's learning it faster than I can keep up. I can't follow. It would also be great to have a Cantonese online dictionary or app on hand we can use quickly, as I find that you'll be learning new words as you go. For parents who aren't fluent in the target language, you can absolutely learn alongside your child. Even simple tools like flashcards, bedtime books, and labeled objects help both of you grow. One study even found that when parents are encouraged to read books in their minority language, their kids' vocabulary improved significantly, and the parents felt more confident as well. My husband and I are learning each other's native language to model language learning for our child and to keep up with each other as we try to follow the OPAL method, or one parent, one language. We've found that doing a formal once-a-week online lessons leads to real progress. The self-taught route is a little bit slower, especially when life gets busy, you're trying to prepare for a baby, and languages just fall on the back burner. But every family is different, and the most important thing is to find whatever works for you, even if that means learning in real time alongside your little one. Lesson 6. Relationships matter. Some parents reflected not on methods, but on the relationships that they could have nurtured a bit more. I wish I had pushed my mom to speak Hokkien with my son, so I could have learned alongside and carry it on. I wish I had spoken way more Mandarin while I was dating my husband. He would have picked up more Mandarin. And so grateful my parents managed to keep me fluent and literate in Chinese, because it would have been way harder to do that with my son if I wasn't. Set the expectation of what you want with your husband. Hardest part for me was not seeing eye to eye with my husband about bilingualism. Continuing to have a conversation with your partners, with your support network about your child's language needs, and constantly adjusting to your situation is so important. If you would like some ideas on how to go about this, here's a video on our family's language plan and how we've been preparing a multilingual home environment to welcome our bub. And lesson 7. No regrets. And finally, some parents just had no regrets, only really proud reflections. I went all in with Cantonese and my husband in French. My kid learns the community language via kindergarten. So far, I haven't regretted anything yet. He's fluent in all 3 languages. Hopefully, success stories like this one will give you the encouragement and also the confidence that whatever it is you're doing will pay off. Final reflections. So, from talking to the bump, to using screens more intentionally, to learning new words alongside your child, and proudly speaking that second or third language at home or in public. These are the things that real parents say they wish they had done more of on their multilingual parenting journey. Check out the playlist for I Ask Real Parents Answer, where I explore different parenting topics, share with you what families around the world are actually doing, and unpack what science says really works. And if this video gave you something to think about, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. I would love to hear from you, what you wish you had done differently, and also maybe what's working for you and your multilingual baby. I will also leave the links to all the resources that I referenced throughout this video in the description, in case you want to check them out for yourself. Thank you so much for being here, and see you next time.